Here we are at episode number 10 of the tutorial series for all the new OOTP users or those that are new to the Perfect Team aspect of OOTP. With OOTP Go recently released, a lot of new players are starting to pick up the game and get involved in Perfect Team, and OOTP Go is a great app for your iPhone or Android. Allows you to use and play the game without having to be on your desktop or iPad. You can play it, as it says, on the go. And really good for entering tournaments and fixing your lineup very quickly using the app. Of course, there's a lot of limitations to the app. It doesn't allow you the deep immersive experience that you would have on the desktop, but it serves the purpose and allows you to make most of the changes that you would make on a desktop on the app itself. So if you haven't picked up OOTP Go, it is free. Go get it on the Apple Store, the Play Store, and try it out and start playing Perfect Team. As I said, this is episode 10 of the tutorial series. This will be the last episode of this series. I waited for about a week before I put out this final episode just to see if there were any other questions or comments that users wanted me to kind of address in this last segment. First thing, let's refresh who we were. We were the Gym Unknown Blue Jays. That was the team that I put together over the course of the 10 episodes to show you how you can build up a team and finish missions and achieve success, hopefully. I've acquired a lot of cards. You can see that I have 165 packs that I've been able to obtain free from tournament play or from achievements or from missions. I also have about 40,000 perfect points that I've been able to accumulate as well. Notice on the transaction screen, the Gym Unknown Blue Jays have picked up quite a few points from in-game achievements or from the login streak. Remember, you get rewards for logging into OOTP every day. The longer the streak goes, the better the rewards are. Of course, perfect points are good for buying cards that you might want on the card shop. Using your perfect points, you can filter it and say, hey, only show me the cards I can currently afford. And I like to always filter non-live because these are the cards that perform best in gameplay. I don't have a lot of live players. Now you might when you first start the game, and they tend to be a lot cheaper on the card shop. But as you keep playing, you're going to find that your non-live cards perform a lot better. You can also filter out by different missions in the game if you only want to look for cards there, and you can filter out by position. So lots of different things. You probably want to hide the cards that you own so that you're not accidentally rebuying it. If you own a card, it will show it in green and in bold letters. So you shouldn't make that accidental purchase. But if you click hide cards, it eliminates those from the card shop. All right, you can also filter by card level if you are only looking for, let's say, bronze players. You can put the max value as 69 and you can filter out the cards in that way. So lots of cool filters that you can use on the card shop. Don't think I mentioned that in a previous video. The missions. Remember, the missions get you packs, they get you players. Those are what you want to try to achieve and use your perfect points are. Probably not the best strategy to use your perfect points on packs, because more than not, you're going to get crappy cards. Get your packs from tournaments. Get your packs from achievements that you might earn from completing missions. That's the best way to get the the packs rather than spending perfect points. I like to use the perfect points on missions and on getting players from the card shop that I think can improve my team right away. So right now I'm kind of saving up. I want to get a premier card, probably over 60,000 perfect points, and I'll get there soon. The next thing, let's take a look how our Gym Unknown Blue Jays are doing. We are now in the Stone season. Remember, as a player of Perfect Team, you want to work your way up to the ultimate level, which is the Perfect Team level. I have not been there in probably 3 versions of the game. I just simply don't put that much time into it, and I don't spend real money. Typically, the odd time I'll put a few dollars in, but I'm a free-to-pay player, or free-to-play player. And that makes it much more difficult to work your way up the rankings. My regular series, the Gladiator series, if you haven't checked that out, I've got a lot of videos showing the rise of the Rocky Mountain Gladiators, and we currently are in first place in our Diamond League this year. So, haven't spent any money and made my way up to Diamond. In fact, last season, I finished the playoffs losing out in the semifinals of Diamond. So you can do well, not spending money on buying packs and buying players. It just takes a lot more precision to try and beat those teams that do have the more premier cards. In Stone 167, again, doing really well, but if we take a look at the history of this team, since episode 1 of the tutorials, we made the playoffs, and of course last season we won the rookie level with a free-to-play team just by using a lot of the strategies that I went through in the first 9 episodes. So you can do that too, and if you are having success based on some of the hints and tips that I've given, leave a comment, please. That's kind of my reward for doing these videos, is when people post that I've helped them out and, hey, that tip you gave me here, or when you said that I should be doing this, help me out. Yeah, leave a comment if you find that any of these strategies are working for you. Now remember that as new cards are released and the game changes over time, strategies need to change over time too. For instance, since the last video, OOTP did an update, and the update impacts the base running and the stealing of bases. One of the episodes I said, tune down your running game. Well, now OOTP has put in a patch where base running isn't as detrimental. You're going to be more successful in stealing bases. So I've got mine turned down, and as you see, I don't have a lot of base running going on. My top guy has 8 stolen bases, but he's been caught 7 times. So if I could give a suggestion, maybe push these up 1 notch. See how that impacts your base running. I wouldn't drag it too far to the right, maybe 1 or 2 notches just to see if that is creating more success, because the patch in the game is now giving better opportunities for the base runners. At least the mid to just above average base runners. It's kind of tuning down the really good ones like the Cool Papa Bells, and it's increasing the above average base runners. Next thing, I had a question on one of the videos that asked me, how can I see results of all my players, not just the ones that are currently on the active roster? Well, when you go to the player list, it will show you all the stats of your current active players. And you could sort those by different positions, batters, pitchers. You could sort them by different categories. So if I want to sort by WAR, here they are here. However, if you've demoted players throughout the season and you want to check out their statistics, you can simply go to Listed, All Players and Organization. Now it will give you the statistics for all the players that played this season. And again, you simply might need to sort it to see all the players towards the top of your screen. Now, I haven't made any changes in season, so it only shows me my active players right now. But if you like to swap players out every day or two, that's how you can find and compare stats of your current roster compared to players that you've used and then demoted. I think that's what one of the followers wanted me to address. Also, when you're looking at stats, one thing that you can do is you can customize the screen. I like to use a customized screen, not the default one, because some of these categories I don't really look at too much. And there's others that aren't on here that I do prefer. To do that, you go to customize right up here, and this is where you can choose the sections that you want to see statistics for. Remember, the more that you add, the smaller the columns are going to be. So you don't want to overload it. So you would go to, since this is a batting category, I go to my batting ratings or my batting stats, and I can play around with these. So I don't care how many players are hit by pitch. I'm going to take that off. I don't care how many players get intentional walks. That's not important to me. I'm going to take that off. Grounding into double play, I don't care about that one. But maybe the WRC plus adjusted weights created, runs created, I want to see that. Maybe I don't care about how many are caught stealing, but I do care about how many, what the stolen base percentage is. Okay, that shows a better sign of how successful they are. Maybe I don't even care about, well, I do care about stolen bases, so I'm going to leave that. Maybe I want to include a couple ratings category. Maybe I want to include their contact versus righties and their contact versus lefties. And same with the power, righties versus lefties. And then you can go through these other ones. Fielding stats, I really like to zone in, no pun intended, on the ZR rating. So I want to show that. And under miscellaneous, maybe I want to show the last 10 value of cards sold, just to see if there's any value on the card shop for that player. I click OK. And there we have what our screen would look like, kind of that main batter statistical screen with the adjusted columns that I've eliminated and added in. Now, this may be too many columns for you, so you might eliminate a few more of these. Maybe you don't care about triples. Maybe you don't care about OBP. I mean, there's lots of these that you can remove. But when you're building your lineup and want to take a look at how they're performing, customize this to the way that you think helps you the most. One word of warning, very, very important. Do not leave this screen until you've saved your settings. So then you have to go back up and click Save View. Give it a name. I'm just going to give it Tutorial. And when you're saving it, forgot to do it, but when you're saving it, you can save it locally, which means only to this game, or you can save it globally, which means any file that you open with OOTP 23 will have that saved version of your statistical screen. Same thing for the pitchers. You can do that. You can go to your pitchers. In fact, just go to the pitching screen here, and you can go and you can customize which categories you want to show, which ratings you want to show, which stats you want to show, some miscellaneous things. Again, I'm just going to pick one just to change it a little bit. I'm going to say, hey, show me their value over the last 10. Click OK. Here it is right here. That's what the cards are selling for on the card shop on average. And then you can just simply click on it and drag it if you want it on a different position on your screen. Remember, before you leave this screen, go up here, click Save View, give it a name, Tutorial. You can save it just to this file, or you can save it globally. You might as well save it globally, because every file you open with OOTP will then have it. Now, when you open up the game, you can go and your saved settings will be down here. So here's the one I created today, the pitching rating tutorial. Here's one that I like to use for my batters that I had previously saved. There's the tutorial one, and here's one that I created at the beginning of the season. I like ZR, I like to show their defensive ability, I like to see all the basic statistics, but I like to see their contact and power as well. So when I'm creating my lineups, I can go, hey, Willie McCovey is my best power hitter against righties. I want him in the number 3 or 4 position. I can say, hey, Jody Reed isn't a very power hitter, so I don't want him in the middle of the lineup. Again, the default for OOTP gives you some of the basic information, and the default batting stats you might want to adjust. So just a little hint on how you can customize your screens a little bit more. But remember, don't forget to save it before you leave that screen, because if you leave it and then go back to it right away, it's gone. You have to re-input the categories that you want. As far as new cards and players and missions that are introduced in the game, that typically is done every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. OOTP and DishNet put out a video. First they stream it on Twitch, and then they put it up on YouTube, where they show the new content in the game. They will also show if there's any special cards. Remember those limited edition cards. So if I search for limited, cards like this, where there are only 25 copies or only 100 copies of the card, they will introduce 1 or 2 of those, and they will talk about any new cards that are in packs. Usually that's when a lot of users go and open packs right after that stream, because they want to be one of the first to get the new cards. They also will talk about any of the new missions in the game. And if they introduce new missions, any cards you already have qualify for those missions. So sometimes after new missions are announced, you'll go to your mission screen and it'll show complete, and you'll be like, how did that happen? They just put it out. Well, you already had the cards required to complete that mission. So that's kind of cool that you don't have to recollect cards that are needed for the new missions. So Thursday night, new missions sometimes, new cards most of the time, and those limited cards that they release. They also release new cards, limited cards during the week as well. So it's not only on Thursday, but you won't find new regular cards in packs during the week. Only on Thursday the new ones are announced. And then they're usually in packs right away as soon as the stream is done. And I think that's going to do it for this series. I think I've covered everything that you need to know for a basic startup and to get some early success. I may do other tutorials in the future. If you have other questions at any time, just leave the comments and questions in one of the tutorial videos. It doesn't matter which one. I always respond to comments, so please leave them. If you have something that you want addressed or covered in a future video. The Gym Unknown Blue Jays. 1 trophy so far. Lots of good players, including 3 perfect players that I've gotten through missions or the card shops or through packs. really good team. Very proud of the team that I've put together for this tutorial series. So yes, on your main transaction screen here, you can show statistics, you can show the ratings, and same with the players on your reserve roster. Another way to show the statistics of any players that you've demoted. So you can do it this way, or you can go to player list, entire organization, and look at the batting stats there. All right, thank you so much for watching the videos. Leave a like, share this out, subscribe to the channel. Please watch my other series that I have going on too. I think I'm going to start streaming on Twitch in the future within the next month or so. Probably a new series. I'll start up with the regular OOTP. So my Gladiator series will continue to be videos on YouTube, but I think I'm going to stream a new series on Twitch. So yeah, come check me out, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in a future episode. Have a wonderful day. It is a great day for baseball, especially if you're a member of the first place Jim Unknown Blue Jays.